I'm Rebecca.
I'm Vicki.
This is Aging Answers, a podcast for families sorting out senior services.
If you're helping a parent or planning for yourself, we make the maze simple.
We cover care at home, assisted living, memory care, transportation, safety, and money questions.
We also explain benefits, Medicare, Medicaid, VA, and how they actually work in real life.
Each episode, you'll get a quick map of your options and simple next steps. No jargon.
No guilt.
Just clear answers so you can move forward. Well, welcome to Aging Answers. We're so excited today to have Dr. Peyton Lack on. He is from North Georgia Audiology. So tell me about you, where you come from, why audiology?
Absolutely. So I'm born and raised in Macon, Georgia.
Oh, not far.
So middle Georgia. Yep, not too far. Went to UGA for undergrad.
Go Dogs, love it.
Go Dogs.
I'm a bigger fan now.
Oh, yes. And then had to jump ships and then went to Auburn for my doctorate. There's no audiology program in the state of Georgia.
Oh, okay.
So we do all have to go out of state. So Auburn, I had to make that jump, but it was great. It was a great program. I actually wear hearing aids. War Eagle. Yeah. I say War Dogs because got to mix both. A little hybrid there.
Oh, that's funny.
But I actually wear hearing aids. So I was diagnosed when I was 9.
Oh, wow.
Late identified, and then got hearing aids when I was 13. And so I've worn them the last 17 years, which is great. So being able to try everything, see what I like, what I may not think is best for me, maybe great for someone else.
Yeah.
So being able to try that firsthand really has gotten me into audiology. So
and
I love what I do for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There have been a lot of changes, I imagine.
There has been, yes. When I first got them, they had to be connected to the computer with wires. You had to sit really close to it, and it was coming out of the computer. Now everything's all Bluetooth, which is great.
Right.
So things have just progressed in sound quality, the size of the devices, the rechargeability has definitely improved, where I had rechargeable at first, but it wasn't actually rechargeable. It just charged on a charger, but you still didn't have like great battery life. And so that's really progressed. The sound quality's changed. Everything's just been very positive, and it's only getting better.
Yeah, I really like a lot of the newer age technology. You can go into an app and specifically cancel out certain noises, like in a restaurant, for example. If there's a baby crying, you can cancel that out.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really life-giving
Absolutely.
for those that can't hear.
I think hearing aids and hearing help, it can be as simple or complex as you want it to be, which is great. I think a lot of people kind of are steered away or hesitant at first because they're like, well, I don't want to have to do X, Y, and Z, or I don't know how to use my phone very well. You don't have to. The goal would just be to put them on, wear them, and charge them and wear them. If they can be very simple to where you just wear them and you go into certain environments and they do their thing for you. But if you wanted to make some of those complex changes, you definitely have the ability to, which is cool.
So I heard a statistic a while ago, and I, like I've said, I don't have a whole lot of information, but I try to remember things. And it was something like when your eyesight starts going within like 11%, you'll immediately, I don't know the exact numbers, you'll immediately go get your eyesight checked. But with hearing, it gets to a certain point. Do you know that statistic?
I don't know the statistic because it's really not as black and white kind of as that. Vision and hearing with glasses, you're putting glasses on and then it essentially corrects it to 20/20 or whatever your best vision is. With hearing, it's not necessarily correcting or fixing.
Right.
It's just helping.
Right.
Making things closer to that normal range, giving you better access to the speech sounds that you are missing in order to get that clarity, get that understanding, get the help that you're needing. So
they wait a lot longer.
They do wait a lot longer.
I think people can compensate. I know for myself, you can self-compensate better with the hearing than you can with the vision.
For sure.
And you don't realize how bad it is. But when your family starts telling you, you should get your hearing checked. When your TV is so loud that your family is like, oh my God, why is the TV so loud?
Absolutely.
Get your hearing checked. And for me, all those things were happening, but I was like, begrudgingly not doing what I should have done. So I got online, and Bose actually has a little hearing aid, hearing test online you can take because they make really inexpensive hearing aids.
For sure.
I didn't know that.
But when I got online and did the test, my results were go see a doctor.
That's great.
That was the result. Yes. And my husband had like mild hearing loss on his because we both took them.
And you said go.
And mine said go see a doctor. And so awesome. I was like, okay, well, I better go see a doctor. So and it was bad.
Got you in the door, which is great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of patients, there's a difference between hearing and understanding. So I think a lot of people always say, well, I heard you. I can hear you. I can hear that. I was like, yeah, I heard it, but did I understand it? Oh yeah, you heard it, but do you understand fully what's being said? So I think a lot of patients are then like, okay, I'm mixing up, or I thought you said this, but you actually said that. And then I think then they're like, okay, the family's noticing it more. They feel they're getting that social anxiety or different mixed feelings where they go into certain places and they're like, okay, it's really affecting me. What is this? What's causing it? Do I have a hearing loss? And I think that's what gets patients in our doors as well.
We see it a lot. So in senior living, people will call and say, well, mom is really isolating herself, but her personality has never been like that.
Right.
And so I'm like, it's probably due to her hearing. Like she's probably not understanding, or she's only catching every third word.
Right.
And so then they go, oh yeah, well, she does wear hearing aids. We haven't gotten her new ones in like 8 years. So they haven't been adjusted in so long.
Absolutely. And things change. I don't know that rate of progression. And so things can change, but untreated hearing loss tends to get worse quicker. And so if we're not treating it, it could get worse quicker. Or if you're treating it, but then it's changed and we're not giving the brain what it needs, things could be, you're not getting your best hearing help.
And it can lead to dementia, or it can be a factor in speeding dementia up.
Absolutely. We hear with our brain, the ear's just the messenger. And I don't think a lot of people associate it that way. Like hearing health is also brain health.
Yeah.
And so the ear's just the messenger. And so if we're stimulating that pathway up to the brain appropriately, is giving the brain some good exercise. And like any muscle in our body, if we don't work it out, it tends to get weaker over time. Same thing with your brain. If it gets weaker over time, it may lead to certain things. I don't like to say causation, but it could definitely, if things are weaker, it could lead to further things or make things get worse quicker.
Right.
So we definitely have that link there.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something.
Are there other similar things like that? Like I know that it can cause dementia. Are there other?
Yeah. There's a lot of like cardiovascular things, and like we have diabetes, like kidney, liver, like any of those things. Individuals who have cancer and use like chemotherapy, ototoxic, which just means harmful to the ear, like medications.
Yeah.
Can definitely, so I was diagnosed with this. I had this type of medication. All of a sudden I'm not hearing as well, or I feel like I'm missing a lot. So certain medications, I don't have like a list of them, but certain ones can say harmful to the ear, and then they start noticing things more, and then may have a hearing loss as a result of it.
Yeah, that's wild. I think another thing, so he has a partner, Dr. Means, that also works and owns the Audiology. So she was letting us know that a lot of people get tinnitus. So like when you're tinnitus, a lot of people say it tinnitus, but it's supposed to be said tinnitus.
Yes, that's great. That is great.
And so, but I find it interesting because like a lot of people that deal with like machines, they've been in war, or they fire a lot of weapons, a lot of police people.
Yeah.
So they have this constant ringing in their ear. So there's actually, you can use a hearing aid and put like ocean sounds in your ear, and it will actually calm the tinnitus. And so talk about that. That's it blew my mind a little bit.
It definitely, so hearing aids, hearing treatment can definitely be a form of tinnitus management, which is awesome. Whether it's buzzing, whooshing, ringing, crickets, singing, whatever it may be, there's a lot of different sounds that a patient may experience. A lot of the times that does come from hearing loss itself. So the brain's not getting what it needs. So the ear's like, hey, I'm going to turn up the dial on this internal ringing, buzzing, whooshing. So it definitely is a neurological condition. It sounds a little more negative than it is, just means it's happening at the brain level. If we're stimulating it appropriately, so treating it appropriately with hearing aids, then it could either reduce your perception of it, it may go away altogether when wearing something, or it may stay the same.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell how your brain will respond to what it's getting, but it can be very life-changing or very helpful for certain patients. That tinnitus program, there's different programs we can put into it. So there's pink noise, there's red noise, there's white noise, there's a shaped noise, like going to the hearing loss itself. Ocean is definitely one of the most popular, which is great. So you can just go up, tap your button, go into that program when you need it. So it creates more of an on-ear sound therapy, which individuals can use throughout their day. They can stay in it as long as they would like. It's not harmful, but it's giving your brain something else to listen to try to distract you from that other noise that they may be hearing.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
So cool. Yeah, it's amazing. My husband has tinnitus.
Yeah.
And so we were hoping that it was due to like a fluid buildup and could be drained. But that's not where he's at yet. Right. So I think he's waiting till it gets a little worse.
Oh yeah. And you can have it without hearing loss. So a lot of the times people coming in have it because of the hearing loss that's present. And I can say it's probably right here because that's where your hearing's the worst. But then there's individuals who have it without hearing loss. And then trying to just, your perception of it can definitely increase and decrease. So heightened stress, lack of good quality sleep, certain dietary things like high sodium, high caffeine intake, alcohol, definitely all of those things can cause your perception of it to increase and decrease.
That's good to know.
And so one thing I like to say too is kind of like a scratch. Like once you start scratching it, you're going to scratch it the rest of the day. Once you pick up on it, well, it's going to be right in front of you the rest of your day. Our mindset over it can definitely affect it. So if we wake up and it's like, oh, this is frustrating, this is annoying, I don't like this, it's a negative association. So you're going to notice it more. And so a lot of patients, I say, do things you enjoy. Practice mindfulness. You know, it sounds very basic, but, or, hey, I ate this and I noticed it more. Oh, I drank this and I noticed it more. Have I been sleeping well? Am I stressed out? Like all those things. And then trying to do things to try to distract you from it. That also could help if there's no on-ear like sound therapy or sound machines, you know, at night can be very helpful. You don't want to mask it because then your brain can't forget about it. So I like to say you bring that masker right up to where you still hear the noise you're hearing, but that masker is just right below it. So it'll pick up on this and forget this. So that can be very helpful for individuals who are going through that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great tip and trick. So my other question is when and how do you get your ears cleaned out? So, you know, Q-tips, maybe not.
Yeah.
So different things like that. And then I think, so a lot of times people in our beautiful senior living can't hear, but they just need to get their ears professionally cleaned.
For sure.
It's gross.
It's
but
definitely
it works.
A fun time.
They come back and they can hear. And so I just want to talk about that. Like, when should you start getting them professionally cleaned? Like, what are the signs?
I think the good thing, like earwax is a good thing. I would not say it's a bad thing. Too much earwax is a bad thing. Bad meaning if it's affecting your hearing, if it's affecting your ability to do certain things, then great. We need to get it looked at. And also patients come in and maybe like, hey, I need to get my ears clean. Look in their ears and it's all clear. Well, you have a significant or a good amount of hearing loss that's masking as, oh, I thought it was something in my ear. Feels like it's stopped up, feels like it's full, feels like it's muffled. All signs of hearing loss.
Yeah.
And so a lot of patients, whether it is hearing loss or not, or earwax or not, it's just more going to someone who knows what they're looking at, knows how to remove it appropriately, and then getting it out if needed. And so if I can't see your eardrum, I'm going to be taking it out. And so Q-tips, I know Q-tips are, people say they try to use those. I don't prefer using Q-tips because then if you do have something, you may actually be pushing it a little deeper into your ear, which could even lead to more discomfort. Could lead to further things that it's just not going to feel good, but then it allows us to work a little harder to get it out, but we can. So if we see it and need to get it out, we definitely can. We have all forms of different removal. We have instrumentation. We have water. We have a really nice, like, pressurized water machine to do it. It actually feels really nice.
It does.
Kind of feels like an ear massage a little bit. And then we have a suction machine. And so it's a little noisy, but you just go in and just suction it right out.
Yeah.
And then we're able to go on with the hearing test, or we're able to help with the hearing aids, do whatever we need to do if we need to do it. But it's definitely good to get checked, you know, every now and then, especially if it's affecting your hearing.
Yeah.
So if you were going to an audiologist, would you go to an audiologist first? Or would you go to an ENT doctor and then they would say, you know, you should go to an audiologist?
Absolutely. I think you can't go wrong either way. A lot of ENT settings, if they do not have an audiologist on their team, you're going to go to them first, and then they're going to send you to us next, and then we're going to send you back. And then if they don't do anything medically, they're going to send you back to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in my preference, I would probably say start with an audiologist first.
Okay.
If there's more like extreme discomfort, active draining, like just knowing that, like something is going on, definitely start medical. But if it's just more, I don't feel like I'm hearing well, it definitely feels clogged or stuffy or full, I would definitely probably start with an audiologist, because either if it is wax, we'll get it out. It's tricky, I say that, but with Medicare, we're not able to do earwax removal and a hearing test in the same day. They won't let us do that. And so we'll do earwax and then come back for a test. So whatever we need to do, we're able to do it.
Yeah.
But if we get referred, like a patient comes to us from an ENT, they have an initial appointment with them. We do a hearing test and then we send them back to the ENT. So it kind of would minimize that constant back and forth if you started at the audiologist, because most of the time it could just be permanent hearing loss that we're able to treat appropriately, and there's nothing medically that needs to be looked at or seen. Or if there is, then we'll refer you to the appropriate person.
Yeah. I will say from personal experience that going to the audiologist is typically less expensive place to start than if you go to an ENT. It depends probably on your insurance, but I know for us, for my husband, it was crazy expensive and the ENT couldn't do anything. Yeah. And so it was like a waste of, I think it was like $624 for one visit. And we have, I mean, he works for the state also, you know, that real good insurance.
For sure.
It was wild.
Yeah. And so it definitely we can get patients to the right referrals or right people if needed, which is great. A lot of times we do have great relationships. So we have practice locations in Gainesville, Johns Creek, and Woodstock. So 3 different practice locations. So we have a lot of good connections in all of our different areas to try to get our patients to the people they need to go to if we need to refer them out. Yeah. And we have good, healthy relationships with those back and forth, which is great. We do take most all insurances, which is great. Most insurances do cover hearing diagnostics, like hearing tests. If they don't, you may get just like a little remainder that you have to pay if they don't cover it fully. But typically, they will cover diagnostics, but most don't cover anything towards treatment.
Right.
Unfortunately. And that's the hard thing because it's just like glasses, or just like, why is hearing not covered? That's a hard thing.
And hearing can affect so much.
It can.
It's, you know, like so your vision definitely can keep you from stumbling into things.
For sure.
But it, you know.
You're removing yourself from what you enjoy and you don't feel confident. And then there's that frustration and there's those feelings of, I used to enjoy that, but now I can't go because I can't participate. And then you just have there can be a lot of negative emotions associated with it, which could lead to isolation, which could lead to depression, which could lead to further things that, you know, if we can improve upon that to get you back to doing what you enjoy doing, I think that's a huge success.
So with seniors in particular and hearing aids, I know that there are some big box stores that have audiologists on staff.
Right.
They sell a lot of hearing aids.
For sure.
But it seems like the seniors that I've known that have had them get the ones with the little teeny tiny batteries. That
Yeah.
Now, like, in what world does an audiologist look at somebody who's 80 and think that hearing aid
batteries are going to be good for them, or the hearing aid is going to be good for them, for sure.
With putting, and then my mother-in-law got the hearing aids and she got the little bitty batteries. I wasn't with her.
Right.
And then she wouldn't wear them. The batteries would go dead. So she didn't get in the habit of wearing them. And I know when I got them,
for sure,
the audiologist said, wear them for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Do not take them out, you know, other than to sleep.
For sure.
Wear them for 2 weeks because you have to get used to it. Yeah. And your brain does have to adjust.
It does.
And she, you know, I mean, I feel like seniors sometimes get them and then they don't wear them, which is a problem because they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
I think there definitely has to be a motivation behind it. And I think if the motivation is stemming from the family, stemming from the caregivers, stemming from outside, I think it's a lot harder for the individual to actually have the motivation to do it and want to see an improvement. Okay. But if the patient also is noticing, hey, I am struggling, I am missing this, I want to be able to do this, they have that motivation to do better or acclimate better, because then they're going to be more prone to, okay, I'm going to wake up and put them in. I'm going to actually put forth the effort to make sure I'm getting them in appropriately. if it's not working, I'm going to go to my follow-up appointments, or I'm going to be doing what I can in order to get better or see improvement, which is positive. With battery operated, luckily the battery operated is kind of going out of style, which is helpful. They're trying to discontinue some of those batteries, but also they've made them harder to get into the batteries, like childproof. So a lot of patients don't like those.
Right.
But you are having to replace the batteries once every 5 to 6 days. Like I wore batteries for like 10 years, and so it definitely is convenient if you know how to do it and like when it's going. But then if it dies, you have batteries on hand.
Right.
And so, but then it is harder to open and close and put it in. And especially with dexterity issues, the smaller they are, the smaller the batteries, it just becomes more cumbersome and more difficult than it needs to be. And so definitely just finding the right person, right audiologist. Everyone's great. I don't want to minimize anyone.
Right.
Everyone's doing what they can, but I know that we practice using best practices. So we're going to do exactly what we need to do and fit you as appropriately as possible to get you the best outcomes, whether that's the size of the device, whether that is rechargeable, whether that's custom pieces, whether that's whatever we need to do, we're going to do it so you can be as successful as possible. But we also listen. We say, what are you wanting out of this? And then we go through and like hit on exactly, okay, you said this, this, and this. So this is what I recommend. I'm not just going to put something on you just to get something on you and get you out the door.
Right.
Because then you might not be, it's just kind of more of like a sales pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me get you in something and go. They might not have the motivation to wear it too if they felt like they were just like given something and it's like, here you go. And so we definitely take the intentional time. We have more time to do it as well. Some of those big box places as well, you can just be seeing so many people a day. You may not have that follow-up care. And then that gets upsetting because then it's like, it's not working for me, but I don't feel like I can get in.
Right.
I don't feel like I can ask the right questions, or maybe they weren't shown appropriately how to do it.
Right.
So there's a lot of different factors that can affect it for sure.
Yeah. I feel like part of it too is just walking them through like what that first 2 weeks is going to look like, because it's like when you get a cochlear implant, everything is now, you can hear everything. And so it's getting used to it. A lot of times I feel like the seniors will get a new hearing aid and then they immediately turn it down or off.
Right.
Because it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And there's all this noise. Instead of getting on the app or having their kid help them or whatever it is,
for sure,
to minimize whatever's going on, or going back to the audiologist and say, this isn't working for me. They're just over it immediately. And so I think that's part of it too. Like they don't like change.
Absolutely.
They didn't realize they had a hearing problem. Now they know that they do, and now they hate it.
Change is hard, and change takes time. I like to say eyes open, ears on. It's very simple. I mean, it's more like pediatric, and I say that to everyone because I'm like, if you're up and active and doing something, put your hearing aids in, because you're going to get acclimated quicker. You're going to get a feel of how to put them in, take them out. As long as they're waterproof. They're just not like submergible.
Right.
So if you get caught in the rain, if you're outside in the heat, if you're any of that, like they are highly durable. You just don't want to shower in them, submerge underwater in them. Get your hair done in them. But if they get wet, it's fine. They should be fine. But I think it's just wearing them as consistently as possible is the best way you're going to acclimate. We do have like the first 2 weeks, we're like, hey, wear these where they're at for 2 weeks, because then it gets you hopefully acclimated. Your brain responds to, oh, I'm getting this. Oh, okay, I like this. I like this. And then we take them out. You're like, whoa. I take mine out. I'm like, I need these things. It's like, I didn't know that. I do know, but as I take them out, you're like, whoa.
I can't hear the shower
really
or the washing machine.
Yeah,
or,
I don't hear the car blinker. That was hard for me. And I was 13, but so I went all the way up to 13. And most people come in around there, maybe 60 plus is probably where we start, like 55, 60, but even like 70 plus. You went 70 years without hearing like this, and then you are exposed to so much. It is a shock. I didn't know the car made a certain sound. I didn't know the traffic was as loud as it was.
That's
the blinker.
The kicker for me.
Restaurants, it's already loud for everyone else. It's going to be loud for you as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just takes time for your brain to get used to what it's hearing.
Yes.
And then you come in, we make changes, or if not, hopefully it fits and works very well for you.
Yeah, for me, a lot of folks don't want their parents driving, and I think the parents get offended. It is not we're not trying to take your independence away. It's that you can't hear a car whooshing by.
For sure.
You can't hear that.
A siren, maybe.
Yeah, you can't hear potentially a siren.
Depending on their
those
loss.
cars that weave in and out of traffic, your response time is not going to be as quick because you cannot hear the car coming.
Right.
And then all you know is they're right next to you and you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to sideswipe. I didn't know they were there. And so I think that is a big player that I think people don't take into consideration.
Absolutely.
And I think people that, at this age, they have an idea of what hearing aids look like. They have come so far.
Right.
And most people that wear them, you can't even tell they have them on.
Right. I think a lot of patients do come in and they're like, well, I don't want someone to know that I'm wearing them. I don't want someone to see them. And in the nicest way possible, I do say you look older missing things than you would not.
Right.
People can tell there's
because
something
then
right.
You are removing yourself. You're isolating yourself. I'm prone to it as well, but sometimes if I don't hear, I just nod or smile and nod. And a lot of people are like, you're going to agree to something one day that you had no idea what you agreed to. And I said, well, I hope it's fun. Because I don't know, but some places, I can't hear, but like most everyone, like if a band's inside at a restaurant, no one's going to be hearing well in that situation.
Right.
It's like
so
certain
true.
situations, everyone's struggling, but you're struggling more because there's a hearing loss that may not be treated. Or even if it's being treated, there's still going to be some things you may be missing. So having realistic expectations really does help. But definitely being able to wear them as consistently as possible is a huge thing.
And I love it because I'm on the phone a lot and talking to clients. And some clients have a heavy accent. So it's hard enough when you can hear well. But if you can't hear and you're on the phone and you can't see their facial expression or read their lips a little bit, it was like it was affecting my business.
Oh, yeah. Having those visual cues, those context clues, all the above can be very, very helpful. You made a great point. You probably have them paired to your phone. So
I
you
do,
can get
and I love streaming
music,
audio
videos, phone calls. It now is in both of the ears at your specific prescription level.
Right.
And so it's giving you what you were missing, but also like giving it to you with what you have on your phone.
Right.
So it can be a huge positive. If a patient is struggling to hear on the phone, if they're just wanting to be able to hear things better, you have the ability of doing it.
Yeah.
I say it's an added bonus because a lot of patients will come in and they'll say, oh, well, my hearing aids aren't working. It's not working well with my phone. And I was like, okay, well, are you hearing better? Are you doing the TV turned down? Are you not asking for as much repetition? Are you, yes. Oh, but it's not working as well with my phone. We paid the money to get the help we need for these things to improve. The phone, we can work with that.
Right.
So I like to say it's an added bonus. If it's something you want to do, you have the ability of doing it, but it's not going to affect the way you hear or the hearing aid works if you do not use it. Right. You get to pick and choose if you'd like to do it, which is nice. It can be helpful.
I love that. I'm going to ask your question. You normally ask this a lot. So as time progresses, so I'm 37. So when should I get my hearing checked? Like as time progresses, what red flags do I look for? Or is it like good to get a baseline every 10 years? Like what's the plan?
It's great to just have a baseline in general. One, if you're concerned. Two, if you don't have concerns. I would probably say around like the 50-year mark. Like if you have not had anything, definitely start.
Right.
And so let's just say at 50, go get your hearing tested. And then if it's still within normal limits, I would probably say we can do it like every 2 years. Typically, we like everyone to do it every year. So we're coming in every year. We're making sure have things changed. If they have, do we
it's
need
like the
to,
dentist? Like, is there a cavity in that thing or what?
Like, do we need to update the hearing aids? Do we need to talk hearing aids? Do we need to talk other communication behaviors? Like all these different things. I think it'd just be helpful to see. I mean, my first test was 9. That's when I found out. But my 3rd grade teacher was like, I just feel like he's not getting everything. Like he has to look at me. Like I have to get his attention before speaking to him. Shout out to Miss Gamble. She was the best. But she was able, she was very intentional and knew. She was like, I have to get his attention. I have to do this. Like she was accommodating me, but also then told my parents, I don't think something may be going on.
Yeah.
So we got it checked and there was something going on. And so we have patients from birth all the way up. And so if you're noticing some concerns, great. Or if you just want a baseline, come on in. It's fun. It's fun to have a baseline.
Yeah,
Sorry, I think if you went to concerts in the 70s, general admission, concerts in the 70s, I think you should go get a baseline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think if you had a lot of ear infections growing up.
Yeah, that could be
because
for sure.
you could have.
I'm in that category.
Or if we're exposed to, excessively loud noises at our work sites, or if you're just in just a constant. I think it's just nice. I think it's for peace of mind. I think a lot of individuals do enjoy, okay, this may be happening. I want to go get it checked. Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, everything's within normal limits. Everything checks out great. It's looking well. Okay, nothing's going on.
Yeah.
However, someone coming in, everything's within normal limits, but they're still struggling. I still can't hear in background noise. I feel like I'm asking people to repeat themselves. I'm not understanding this. I'm not going to say, oh, it's normal. See you later.
Right.
We're going to get to the root of it because you still can have some difficulties, even though everything looks like it's normal.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to minimize. I don't want to say, no, like it's normal. Right. It's okay. If you're coming in with a problem, we're going to help.
Yeah. And I think
if you're watching TV with subtitles on everything.
Right.
I like to
Which is not a bad thing.
Or, for me, it was bass. I could hear bass. I couldn't hear treble. So, music would be on. And I'm like, why is the bass so loud? Well, it wasn't. I was hearing the bass. I wasn't hearing the treble.
Yeah.
Most hearing losses. So, bass is the lower frequencies, and then treble is like mid to high frequencies. Bass is volume. High frequencies is clarity.
Okay.
And so that's why a lot of people come in and they're like, hey, I can hear. And then, but I'm asking like, what, or huh, or I thought she said Terry, but her name was Carrie. Very similar,
right?
But we need that clarity in order for you to understand things easier.
Yes.
As we live longer, I like to say, I don't like to say age-related hearing loss, but as we live longer, we're exposed to more sounds over time that affect all of our ears differently. The first thing that get hit the hardest in the part of the inner ear are those mid to high frequencies. So a lot of patients are coming in saying, I hear the TV, I just have trouble understanding it. Or I feel like you said, the bass, but not the treble. And that's exactly where that hearing loss tends to start showing up.
Yeah, I'll do visits with families, and if the loved one is hard of hearing or anyone there is hard of hearing, I'll actually try to drop my voice as low as I can so that they can hear me, and I try to speak a lot more clearly, and it does make a difference. Like I'll go slower.
Yeah,
and
I like to say louder is not always better too.
Right. Oh my gosh, guilty.
Or
guilty
if someone's like
so
speaking louder or raising their voice, I said, it's just louder. And people are like, I still hear it. Like, I still don't understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
I say it's like a broken car speaker, busted car speaker. If you just turn it up, it's still going to sound busted. It's just louder.
Yeah. 100%.
And so patients are like, yeah, she's just screaming at me. And
We're
I still
so
can
guilty.
hear it.
We're so guilty of that, especially like, I mean, anyone in senior living, anyone that does anything with seniors.
Right.
They don't hear you. You drop your voice. They don't hear you.
Yeah.
You try to yell or speak louder, and then you look like you're screaming at them. And they're like, why are you screaming at me? I'm like, you can't hear a word coming out of my mouth. Like,
and so it's
funny.
hard because you're trying to compensate and trying to good thing, minimize background noise, try to be at a close but reasonable distance, getting their attention.
Yes.
Trying to enunciate, but not over enunciate, because sometimes when we over enunciate, it still gets lost. Right. Because then you're essentially trying a little too hard. And so, but all of those things just can be very positive. Not being room to room, being in the same room. If you're down in the dishwasher and your partner or whoever is in the kitchen, or the living room, that's not going to be as realistic to understand in general.
Right.
Yeah.
And so just using those healthy, positive communication strategies can be very helpful too.
Yeah, I think so. And then something I wanted to kind of backtrack on. So I do a lot of ministry work, and one of the ministry works, so there's a specific person that's always like, I can't hear the speaker, I can't hear whatever, and everyone else can hear, and she's like, well, but I have perfect hearing. And the problem is, you think you do, but when's the last time you went to an audiologist to get it checked?
Right.
And so maybe not. So if you've got 60 women in a room and everyone can hear but you, and you're sitting in the front row,
for sure,
sister,
oh yeah,
I love you. Please help us.
Call our office. We'll be happy to get you
exactly.
on the schedule.
North Georgia Audiology.
Yeah.
They have multiple locations.
Yes, 3 locations. It's nice. And I always, I try to make it as fun as possible. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking because you don't want to go in somewhere and leave with a diagnosis
Right.
And it's definitely a diagnosis that can be helped. You know, we can improve your quality of life. You know, you can't put a price tag on your quality of life, in my opinion. Like, it can be financially a burden to some, or also it's a financial commitment. But if it's improving a lot of different areas of your life, what a blessing, which is awesome.
I agree.
It is so worth it to find a way, you know, it's life-changing.
For sure.
Life-changing.
And we have financing options as well. You know, we have, there's like a Georgia charitable network that can help some low-income seniors or individuals who need help. They do have to fill out an application, but there are different resources for individuals to tap into. Some insurance companies do provide hearing treatment benefits. We do have an insurance team that runs benefit checks and make sure if they have something, are we able to use it?
Yeah,
if not, there may be third party. They contract with certain practices and they're only able to use that benefit in certain places. So then at that point, you'd forfeit that and then just private pay if you want to stay with us.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different, like, we give you all your options. We're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
And so if we're able to do what we can to get you hearing better, we will.
And I know that the VA in some situations will cover hearing aids. Are there other insurances or other, like, what do we need to do? Do we need to yell more at our local authorities?
It really just depends, especially insurance. It depends on the contracts. Like, everyone just has such a different plan and different contract.
Yeah.
That's why we have our insurance team that does do the due diligence of calling and getting that information, so we have it. I think a lot of patients get frustrated because they end up calling their insurance people and they're like, hey, do I have hearing? And they're like, yes. Hey, do I have a hearing benefit? Yes. Or are they a network? Yes.
That's great.
But we are in network, but that may not mean treatment. We might be in network for testing, diagnostic, but not in network for treatment. So it kind of confuses things. So if you don't know how to ask it, it can get a little confusing. But for VA specifically, we do work with VA Community Care Network.
That's great.
And so if individuals are able to get into that program, they're able to elect us as their providers. So we handle everything from testing, fitting, ear cleaning, whatever we need to do. We do it in our offices, and then we send that to the VA. Everything comes from the VA to us, but we assume their care, which is nice. And so we have a lot of veterans who do see us who are able to get into that program.
Yeah,
which is cool.
That. And then I know that Dr. Means is doing a lot of advocacy. So can you just touch on, like, I know just
Absolutely.
like a tiny bit of what she's advocating for?
We went to Washington, D.C. back in September and had a day at the Capitol. And we're just talking with a bunch of different lobbyists and representatives and just trying to get out there. You know, it's been a lot of changes happening in a lot of different places. She and a group just went up this past week, actually, as well, to do the same thing. So right now, I think what we're big advocating for is a somewhat change in Medicare with just patient access, like direct patient care. How can we best give them the help they're needing when they come see us? A lot of times, so right now we have to have a physician's order. And so we're trying to minimize that to where we can still do everything we need without having that, and trying to make sure that are we able to give the patients what they need when they come in, instead of them having to jump through a bunch of other hoops to try to come back and see us. Because then, like you said, it's costing them more money to go to this practice and pay a copay, and this practice and pay a copay.
But you don't need a doctor's note to go see an eye doctor.
Right.
So why do you need one to go to an audiologist?
It's just, we're practicing right now in, like, I believe 1960s still in the Medicare world. And so it has not changed since. So just trying to make some improvements there so we can provide patient direct access care. And then give them what they're needing when they come see us. Yeah, which could be really helpful.
Silly a little bit.
It can be, and
like,
if
I can't hear, I have to go to a doctor to get
an
order to go to an audiologist.
Right. And so you're jumping through, it's saving Medicare money, it's saving our beneficiaries money, it's saving patients money. It's all saving. And we'd be updating some of, like, what we're currently doing is just not necessarily out in a direct written form. So updating that to, like, we're doing this, but just putting that in kind of our audiology language as well.
Yeah, so Medicaid has a lot of catching up to do, I feel like. There's a lot of spent dollars on things, like, in my world, to me, there's people living in skilled nursing that could be living safely in a memory care, and it would be saving the government like $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Oh yeah, we're not asking for any money. If anything,
it's not extra money. We want to save money.
Saving money.
Yeah, it's
saving everyone money and just giving patients direct access to their care.
Yeah.
It seems like a win-win.
It seems like
we're trying our hardest, and it's fun to.
We hope it works.
Yeah, it's fun to go to those different places and meet different people and shake the hands and have the talks and just be able to promote audiology as best as we can, because like vision and other things, like hearing health is not promoted or not looked at as much as it should be.
Yeah.
And so it definitely, your hearing health it affects your whole body. It affects your quality of life. And I don't think a lot of patients fully understand that yet to know the importance of it.
Yeah, I had no idea your cardiology issues could be, I had no clue that the ear and the heart were connected like that. So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Are there any other things that we should touch on? Is there anything we missed?
I think, no, it's been great. I mean, unless there's any other questions that you have specifically for me about practice or about North Georgia or anything, but otherwise I think it's been great.
It has been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's been very interesting.
Yeah.
I was looking so forward to this.
Yeah, me too. I've sent a lot of families to North Georgia Audiology, including my own husband. Big supporter. But I would just say, like, don't fight it. Go ahead and go, bite the bullet, get your baseline, just so you can see where you're at. And then maybe ask your kids, like, do you think I'm, like, if you don't think you have hearing issues, just ask around, because people can tell you, like, yeah, sometimes you seem aloof, and that's not how you are.
Right.
So I think that's important too.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you
Absolutely.
to have dementia early on.
Yeah.
I had a dear friend of mine that I told her, I think you need to get your hearing checked. And then when I mentioned that it's directly correlated to dementia, because her mom has dementia, she was on it. She was like, oh, I'm not playing with that.
Sure.
Saw her 3 weeks later and she had hearing aids.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was like, girl,
Yeah,
you listen to me. So it's important.
I think it's definitely helpful, because I always like to say, if anything, it's helpful information. It's like, if you have the helpful information, do with what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
We're here to help. We're happy to help any way we can. We're going to do it whenever you're ready. If the motivation is not behind it, I don't want to force you to do something, because then you're not going to do it if you're not motivated to.
Right.
And so then I just say, just be more mindful of it. If someone brings it to your attention, don't get upset about it. Or don't get defensive about it, because that may be one that's a great family member, a great friend, a great someone trying to look out and be like, okay, something's off.
Right.
What can we do about it?
When
or
it's not
is there
fixing,
something?
Yeah, it's not fixing it. Don't get
it's not
like
you.
stiff-necked.
Don't minimize it.
Yeah.
But I understand it can. There is a process. There's a cycle. And so just definitely getting out there and being more mindful of it, and just seeing how is this affecting me? And if it's affecting me, do something about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on in, give us a call. We'll schedule hearing tests. You are able to leave hearing better the same day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you come in and you're able to leave hearing better. And so if we're able to provide that, we're happy to help.
And the hearing test doesn't take very long. I mean,
no,
it's like
not at all.
minutes,
I like to say when I'm at the end of it, I'm like, I hope that was fun. And like, yeah, that was about, like, you can get kind of anxious in it, but it's nothing that needs to be nervous about or anxious about, but we're just getting some helpful information and seeing how best we can help.
Yeah, I love it. So where can we find you, Dr. Lack?
We are, I'm in Gainesville, our Gainesville office. So I'm there 4 days a week. And then I'm also in our Woodstock office. So I go there on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And so things are changing, but we have our Gainesville, Johns Creek, and Woodstock locations. But Dr. Brooke Means is one of our co-owners. She and myself are at our Gainesville office. She's great. And then Dr. Jessica Allen is our other co-owner. She's in Johns Creek. And then Dr. Hannah Jones, she's primarily in our Woodstock office as well.
Yeah, I love it.
And so we're happy to help, and lots of different locations. They all work together. And
it's
so
North Georgia Audiology?
North Georgia Audiology. We all work together. So if you needed to go to one and you were in Johns Creek one day for an emergency and needed to go, you can go there, even if you're a Gainesville patient. If you were in Woodstock and Gainesville, we all are able to help, wherever you are.
Yeah, that's
Which
fantastic.
is
I would say if you're a baby boomer, get your ears checked.
Yeah.
Come on in.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. There's no time to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'll keep saying it. It's just helpful information, and it can definitely be a huge improvement in your quality of life. So why would you not?
Right.
Yeah, such a good point. Vicki, where can we find you?
I am at Anchor Real Estate Advisors in Dawsonville. I'm a residential realtor and a senior real estate specialist. And my email is resultsbyvicki@gmail.com.
Awesome. And I'm Rebecca Cox. I work for Manor Lake Independent Living, Assisted Living and Memory Care in Dawsonville. You can find me at marketing@manorlakedw.com. We've had a lot of folks reach out and ask for different topics or ask for resources help. So feel free to reach out to either of our emails. Also, you can find us on, of course, YouTube. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, all the things. But we would love to hear from y'all. And I hope that you feel how much we love you. We really, really care about our senior population. And we really want to help them live better today.